Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Saaghe Fogwe podcast. Today, we have a very, very special show. It's a Mother's Day special. We just had Mother's Day on Sunday, May 14th. We celebrated mothers. So, shout out to all the mothers, shout out to all the mother figures, anybody who has a child that they're taking care of, that they love. You are a mother, and we want to give you a special shout out today and just extend our thanks for all that you do. I have a very special person with me today. She is she's a mother, she's a wife, a sister, a daughter. She's a leader in the community. She is a mentor. She's one of my mentors. She's just one special lady that I can go on and on about her, but I'll let her talk about herself a little bit here. She's no other than Mrs. Ernestine Nchopa Ayafor. Welcome to the show.
That was a lot.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a long name, too. And I didn't even add my middle name. By the time I added my middle name to that would take us a little bit to finish. Thank you.
I know,
Thank you
whole
so much for
sentence.
having me. Thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
glad to be here.
So, just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, where you come from, how long you've been in the United States, what we need to know about you.
What you need to know about me? It's a little bit, but I can say, as she already said my name, right? I'm originally from Cameroon, and I'm married. The long name, the last name that you heard, it's not my dad's name. It's my husband's name. So I'm a mom. I'm a sister, as she said. I can be a sister to another sister, not biologically, emotionally, right, morally. I'm a friend to some people. What can I say? I'm a daughter to my mom and my dad. Unfortunately, my dad passed away a little bit ago. So I'm a daughter to my mom and a daughter of the community, I can say that. Because I easily attract, older people as mothers everywhere. So a little bit, I've been here about 13 years or so. It's been an amazing ride, and I'm just so thankful to be here. What can I say again about myself? I'm a mom. That, no one can take that from me, right? I'm a mom to the core. So happy Mother's Day to me and to all the ladies out there and to you who will listen to this podcast even years beyond today. Happy Mother's Day. Even if you don't have a child, but you take care of somebody else's child, happy Mother's Day. It's an amazing job.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that introduction. Take us through a typical day in the Nchopa Ayafor household, because this lady, before she takes us through that day, let me say a little bit here. So she is one of those ladies whom we're in business together. So when they introduce people as retired nurses, retired physicians, retired pharmacists, retired janitor, retired accountants, or even still current in those positions, she is the one unique person who always says that she has not retired from her position because she's a stay-home mom. I admire this lady to the core because she is a true stay-home mom. And so I want her to take us through a typical day in her household.
All right. Excuse me. If you were to look at a typical Uber driver, hey, you're looking at me, right? If you were to look at a cook, don't look past me. I am always in the kitchen. If you were to look at somebody who get up and want to clean and all of that, I enjoy doing that. Stay-at-home mom is a profession that I elected to have. I chose to be a stay-at-home mom. It wasn't because somebody or my husband said, hey, you know what, stay home because I'm going to work. And no, I chose to be a stay at home mom. And why? Each and every one of us has something that is so important to them. For me, my babies, my kids, they mean the world to me. And I will always tell this story to anybody who has a minute to listen. I want to say something, maybe it's a little bit away from your question, but I'll come back to the question you just asked me. When I look at the society today, I see a lot of values going away, being eroded from our community. And some part of it is because what we used to value, we don't value anymore. I used to enjoy, even though my mother, I grew up with a mom who was a businesswoman, but every time I came back from school, I saw her in the kitchen. It made so much. It meant so much to me. I always see my mom in the kitchen when I come back, and the house used to smell so good. So I would bring my friends to come eat. So I wanted that for my kids. I didn't want my children to come back home and, the neighbor across the street is greeting my child. Or some random lady is picking up my child somewhere, taking them somewhere, talking to them. I wanted to be in their lives and to just shape these little minds. And bet you, one thing I realized too, you don't have your kids forever. They quickly grow up.
True.
And they move on and they become some other people, right? Some adults. So you want to spend a little bit of time with them. And that is what I'd always wanted. Now let me go back to your question or to the statement you just made. A typical day in our home, I would just tell you, being a mom, I'm not a super mom. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not a mom who will sit here and tell you, I wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. No, I don't. I don't. And that's another thing that I enjoyed, right? I will wake up just on time, or I used to wake up just on time to, drop off my kids at school. When some of them were a little bit younger, this is what I'll do. I'll get up in the morning, and at 7 a.m., we're already going to start dropping off. And I would drop off a preschooler, I'll drop off an elementary schooler, I'll drop off a middle schooler, then I'll go and drop off the high schooler. And then I come back home, time enough for me to maybe cook something, maybe clean a little bit, and then it's time to go pick up. I'll start picking back up, pick up, and then pick up the high schooler. At the end of the day, sometimes our whole day is gone. Oh, wow. But you know what? I enjoy that. I really, really do. I enjoy doing that. And I will spend a little bit of time in the kitchen, cook. I don't like cleaning, but I have to, right? I cook, I clean, and I go out shopping, be it grocery. That's something that I enjoy. She loves
shopping.
I love shopping. I just enjoy shopping, whatever it is, okay? That's my therapy. I really enjoy shopping. So, and then at the end of the day, I just had always enjoyed when my kids are home, except when they started growing up a little bit, then we started having these sports programs that would run a little late, right? But when they were a little bit younger, we all come back home, and I could not wait to see my husband, coming back home with so much stress. Yeah. But at least he comes home to a wife, right? Yeah. And to kids. They'll run and hug their dad and, all of that. Every time I saw that, I thought to myself, hey, you know what? I would not trade this for anything. Yeah. I enjoyed that, right? And my husband will come home and we'll have a meal. Even though we don't do that anymore that often, I would love for us to go back the way we used to do it. But I said, kids, they grow so fast. Yes, so you don't have a lot of time to influence their little minds and their lives. So, and we'll have a meal, maybe take a walk around the neighborhood, talk, watch the news. I'm not a news person, but he is. So sometimes I'll just sit down and listen, and tuck them in bed for those who would allow me. Your mom yourself, you know, when they start growing
Yes.
up, they don't want you to treat them like
Like
babies.
babies.
Yeah, so visit with them in their rooms and just say those prayers at the end of the day, and then there's the next day.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that a lot of women would admire. And she has a bunch of kids. She has a bunch of kids. When I say that, she has 6 kids. So she says she's not a superwoman, but she is. She really is a superwoman. But the question I have for you after that is, you know, this, you've kind of talked about the role of a mother already, you know, most of it. But define a mother for me, and you know, who is a mother?
Oh, wow. That is so vague, and that can be a little bit more complex, right? A mother can be any woman who is a role model to a child, who cares about a child. Because I say this, you don't have to have a child to be a mother. There are some mothers out there that have done so much in the community, that have helped kids, children, groomed children, care for them, love them, you know, that have made so much difference in the lives of children, but they themselves are not biological moms, right? So a mother can be any woman that, you know, takes care of another child, takes care of a child in one way or the other, right? I don't want to put it that you have to be a biological mom to be a mother. Some people don't even like kids, but they were blessed to have some, right? So, but somebody doesn't have any kids, but they are always ready to step into that role and just be that mother that a child needs, right? So a mother can be any lady, any woman. Come to think of it, you're a professional, you're a financial professional, yes, but also, you know, you're a medical professional. We see that even when we go to, you know, some hospitals, some nurses that are so nurturing. That nurse might be playing a role of a mother at a hospital, you know, just, you know, loving on that child. But to add to that, I would just say, you know, there's so many people out there that don't get enough credits because they didn't carry a child through 9 months, or they didn't legally adopt the child. So they don't get that credit as a mother. Some people don't even want to call them mothers. But shout out to you out there if you've made a difference in the community, in the life of a child, if you've blessed a child in one way or the other, if you've stepped up as an aunt, hey, you're a mom. Right? If you're just, you know, a community lady and you saw children doing the wrong thing, like where we come from, Africa, they say it takes a village, right? It takes a village. I'm so grateful to a lot of mothers that have played that role in my life. They're not even my biological mom, but they have been there, right? In one way or the other. At some point, is it, you know, trying to correct me to go the right way, or just, you know, helping here and there, or directing, or just spending time
Making
to
a
pray,
difference in your life,
to pray for somebody, right? To pray for a child, to pray that that child grows up to know the Lord, or grows up to be something or somebody. That makes a big difference. And I think if we were to open our minds and our hearts about who is a mom, we will be able to give more credit to a lot of
women.
lot of
Very
ladies out
true.
there.
And the word mother is even used as a verb. You mother somebody. You mother. You know. So so that tells us a
Her
lot
mom is
more.
an English teacher,
So,
right?
I know, right? English madam's child. But the other role that this lady has, she's not just a mother. A more recent role that she came into is the wife of a pastor. So her husband has taken up a role as a pastor in the community. So coming from being a woman of God, what mandate does God give us,
Oh my goodness.
mothers?
Oh my goodness.
Because I know there's a mandate. He created women to be an extension of him on earth. What do you say about that?
Oh, wow. That's a lot to unpack, okay? First of all, the pastor wives thing, I tell you the truth. I'm going to be just honest. I have learned that being a child of God is something that, it's not your journey. It is not. That's the first thing. It is not your journey. You are here for a reason, right? And sometimes we want to pick and choose what we want to do. We want to pick and choose our roles in the community, in the society, in our lives. We want to pick and choose how we live our lives. But I tell you the truth. First of all, to be a child of God, it's not easy. And to surrender to God and say, hey, God, let your will, not my will. It's one of the most difficult things, right? And for me, being a pastor's wife, I wasn't born to be one. I don't know. Maybe God, from the very get-go, had that in his plan. But if I were told at some point, I would have run away.
Like Jonah, run into the belly of the whale.
Because I tell you the truth, I know some people see it like, oh, glamour and oh, whatnot. It comes with a lot of challenges, right? It comes with a lot of challenges. I mean, you're constantly being put on a microscope or a telescope, whatever, like some kind of magnifying glass. People want to see your life. They want to see what you're doing. Because guess what? A pastor or a pastor's wife or a minister, they always everybody expect way too much from them. We
Perfection.
all forget, we forget that we're all work in progress.
Yeah.
Each and every one of us is a work in progress. Yes, the only perfect person is Jesus. And he's the only one who could die for our sins. But they mess up. Then you carry the cross. People sing your name. They forget that as a human being, you've seen every one of us, believe it or not, sometimes knowingly or unknowingly, every one of us sins, even when we've surrendered, we've given our lives to Christ. But as long as you carry the name minister, pastor, pastor's wife, evangelist, pastor's kid, just like you, right?
I know, right? PK. Yay.
A pastor's kid, then you get to, people look at you differently. They expect you to be perfect. They expect everything for you to be just so perfect, straightforward. You cannot do anything wrong. But that's not how life is supposed to be, right? So put that aside. I want to say it's not easy because first you're being looked at as somebody who is supposed to do just the right thing at all the time. And if you fail or something happens, then you get judged forever. Sometimes, forever, right? That one. And I know there was a second part to that question.
The question was, so what is the mandate that God gives a mother?
The mandate.
To a mother. That what is your role that God gives you as a mother?
Believe it or not, there are so many things you can do for your children. And as a mother, there's so many things you can do. But for me, one of the most important things, and mind you, I talk about this a lot, even to my husband. I tell my husband every time, I say, honey, there's something that my prayers have always been about, raising these children to come to know God and to come to be responsible human beings in the future. It's not about raising them to be medical doctors, surgeons, astronauts. Primarily, no. It is about raising them to be responsible human beings and to come to know Christ as their personal Lord and Savior.